What if I told you that a 90,000 MacBook Air like this can cost you the same as a 50,000 Windows laptop? Sounds crazy, right? But let me make one thing clear. I am in no way a MacBook or an Apple fanboy. This is primarily looking at the price to performance ratio and the resale value that you get. So I'm only looking at it with the facts that it presents itself. I am not here to recommend you the operating system. If anything, I prefer Windows over Mac. It's just that Mac does certain things better. It's better professionally, but when it comes to gaming, you do have to go with a Windows machine. Having said that, let's get on with the video. Now, when you look at the two price tags, you have a 50,000 Windows machine and you have a 90,000 MacBook Air. It seems like a no-brainer. Spend the 50,000, save the 40,000, and why go for the much more expensive, almost twice as expensive as the 50,000 rupees machine? But here is where you go wrong. Now, let's look at the three key factors that affect a laptop. The first thing is the resale value. The second is longevity. And the third is performance and efficiency. In terms of resale value, I think everyone here knows that a resale value of Apple products is just better than its counterparts, be it Android or Windows machines. So Mac has Windows beat over here. Performance and battery life, again, the MacBook is leaps and bounds ahead in terms of both performance and battery life when it comes to that. And the third is longevity. Apple is well known for supporting multiple OS for a hardware for a really long time. So in all of these three scenarios, Apple has its counterparts beat. Let's look at the first thing that I mentioned, the resale value. This is a hidden cost that you'll realize after 3 or 4 years. The depreciation of a Windows laptop is far greater than a MacBook. A MacBook would lose roughly 40 to 50% of its value in 3 or 4 years, whereas a Windows laptop would lose nearly 80% of its value in 3 or 4 years. If you've bought a 50,000 rupees laptop anywhere in your lifetime, you'll get to know that it'll be sold for less than 10,000 after 3 or 4 years. So the cost realization of this is later, but it is there. Now, let's look at longevity. A MacBook Air, especially with the new M series processors, can easily last you 6 to 7 years. I have been using the M1 since it's launched and it's been over, I think, 4 years, and I've had no complaints. I've had it passed down to other people who were on Windows machines and they've never been happier. They use it every day and they do it for light tasks. And I don't think there would be any need to upgrade that machine anywhere in the future. And even if I have to do that, I do have the better resale value. Now let's go on to performance and efficiencies. Looking at the processors that Windows uses, they're usually above 30 to 40 watts of TDP. And that in a laptop costs. So that will drain out battery. If you have the same battery in a Mac versus a Windows will obviously drain faster. So how do you compensate? You put in heavier batteries to compensate for that. You can't get that perfect blend of portability, battery life, performance that you get in a Mac. It's the hard truth, but it is. An M1 processor has a TDP rating of 5 to 10 watts roughly, and it's just extremely efficient than its counterpart. So an M1 with a complete day usage will still have enough battery life to get you through the day. My personal experience has been with light usage, it can last me anywhere from 12 to 14 hours, whereas a Windows machine dies within 4 hours. So laptop is meant to be portable. It is supposed to work the entire day, That is what the laptop was made for, and Apple does deliver on that. Windows sadly doesn't. I want Windows to deliver, but sadly there aren't any products. And a few other things that go in MacBook's favor is the fanless design, the low thermals that come with it. Even though it's a fanless design, it's just quiet. It's just the sound of you typing on your keyboard and clicking on your trackpad. That's it. And then you have the Mac OS optimizations. There's bloatware in Windows, whereas Mac OS is neatly optimized. So, yeah, there you have it. If you have a Windows laptop, you'll just end up besides a power socket more often than a MacBook user. So, the final verdict is that if you are considering any Windows laptop over 50,000, I would recommend you that you look at a MacBook Air, roughly at 80 to 90,000. It'll cost you the same after 3 to 4 years. And in fact, if you see online right now, you will find an M1 Air as low as 62,000. Again, if I were to reiterate, if you go anywhere above, I think now 40,000 for a laptop, then just go for the MacBook Air M1 base model. It'll be more than enough for you, and you'll probably use it for the next 5 to 6 years. Let me know in the comment section below which team you're rooting for, Mac OS or Windows. I am honestly Windows. I've just been a fan of complexity, I guess.